Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Friday edition of the Namaste Experience. Are you guys feeling that energy? Are you feeling that vibrancy? Are you feeling awake and ready? Hopefully you're not thinking awake and ready. That won't get you very far. Just thinking about it or having a concept isn't going to give you what you really, really want. It's the experience, it's the feeling. It starts with the feeling at the very least. There is an energy and a momentum that we sense within us, something that is pulling us, lifting us. And we follow that with our intention for only one thing. This is the only thing I want. To continue this ascent, to continue this amazing, joyful experience of being awake. You know, we use that word every day, awake, I'm ready, but what does it really mean? It means that I'm willing to look through the veil of Maya, the veil of illusion, to see that which can be seen, rather than focusing instead on everything that's on this side of the veil, which is what cannot be seen. It only seems, okay, I'm getting too philosophical here, but you know what I'm saying? To see that which can be seen, that which is forever real, that which is forever whole. And it begins with that feeling and that desire. And then at some point, we're lifted above it all and we're able to look back down and simply bless. Like we're looking down upon the earth and we can see all the countries. There are no boundaries. There are no walls. We are one. That, of course, was the experience that the first astronauts had. The first time they looked out the window and they saw this beautiful blue planet. And they realized that high truth, even if they just got it intellectually, that really we're all one, we're all together. But that doesn't just include the planet Earth, it includes all reality. So that's where we begin. Now, I have to say that this morning, I spoke to her and she was going to lead the session, which meant I could sit back and follow her lead. And then 5 minutes before the session, she let me know that, I forgot that she had a meeting with this group from Colombia at the same time. So here we are. And that's okay, because what we preach here every day is to simply listen and respond. You know, we're here to be truly helpful, as it says in the Course in Miracles. We're here to follow the one who sent us. I don't have to know what to say. I don't have to know what to do, because the one who sent me will guide me. You all know that prayer. That's all. I just have to listen and follow. So that's what we're going to do. In fact, I grabbed a copy of The Art of Spiritual Peacemaking right as Scott was singing. And I thought, okay, I'll just open it up, and whatever lesson I come to, that will be our lesson for the day. So I opened it up in the other room, and I actually came to one of my very favorite lessons, and it's one that I think has such great relevance to this moment. I say that because each one of us, you wouldn't be here if you had not already made a resolute decision to awaken and to stay awake, a resolute decision to be the light of the world, a resolute decision to see through all of those illusions that have captivated our attention for so long. You've made a resolute decision. And now that we have made that decision, there is one thing that is key, and that is to remain consistent. Why? Because it's so easy to fall back asleep. I don't know about you, but just this morning, I did it about 3 times. You think just 2 more minutes, just 5 more minutes, because it's so, I don't know about your morning, but it's just so delicious just to relax and close your eyes again. But then the alarm goes off again because, of course, we hit the snooze button. Many of us have been hitting the snooze button for many years. And that's okay, because at least you know that the time has come. The time has arrived for us to stand and play our essential role in the awakening of the whole. It's not just the awakening of this individual consciousness. In fact, this has very little to do with it. It's awakening into and through the whole. And then knowing and experiencing that that whole is who I am. So this is the lesson that I opened to. I thought it would be a good beginning. It says, consistency is the key now. You must learn to retrain your mind. That's what we do here every day. Retrain your mind to perceive what can only be seen by the heart. The beloved is all around you, this and every moment. But you have learned to be consistent in not perceiving this reality. It takes practice shifting this awareness, and it is this more than anything else that you need, this practice, the mind training. Once again, this is why we come here every day. We start off our day with a rush of intention, a rush of energy, a rush of insight and light. And this buoys us throughout the whole day. It lifts us so that we can see clearly where we are. But, during the day, we're going to sink back probably into some of those illusory ideas that have claimed us for so long. But if we keep doing the mind training, if we keep supporting one another, and we keep coming here, joining, it's all about the joining, then we lift higher and higher every day until we break free from the gravitational pull of the ego. That's the key. Okay, once again, it takes practice shifting this awareness, and it is this more than anything that you need. I've said this over and over, but for good purpose. I know how stubborn your mind is and how difficult it is to shift your vision of the whole world. But it is simple. Let it be that way, and you will move deeper into this light. Look around you right now and see who is there. Do that. Look around and see, not just the individual, not just the personality, but see who is really there. We may be all wearing costumes. We all may be excellent method actors, playing these roles with precision and perfection. But if we really look and see that it's really the Christ that's around us every moment, or whatever word you want to use for that, then we begin that process of breaking through, because that gift that I give to thee is the gift that is received by me. I can't see it in you without receiving it myself. That's how simple this is. Let it be that way, and you will move deeper into this light. Look around yourself right now and see who is there. The Holy One is shining upon you this moment, if only you would choose this for yourself. So consistency, that's the key. We need to be consistent in the manner in which we choose to see one another. People come to Namaste Village. There are a few people here right now who have come for the first time. And I have a feeling that if I ask them, what do you feel when you're here? They might say, I don't know what it is, but I feel something. There's an energy here. It's palpable. There's a radiance that I sense. Just walking in the door, sometimes people say that. It has nothing to do with the buildings. It has nothing to do with how the beautiful paintings that we have, though we do have beautiful paintings. It has to do with the collective decision for one thing. The collective decision to stay awake and to be aware of what's really happening. And so we come together, and that gets brighter and brighter. And people cannot help but be pulled into it. Just walking in the door, they're going to feel something, and that's going to draw them. So this is the gift that we give to one another. This is the gift that we give to one another. So I'll tell you what, let's open it one more time, this time just at random, and we'll see what lesson we come to. Okay, here we go. This is a good one. Let the eternal yes shine through you this day. The eternal yes. The world needs to feel that this is a reality that it can enjoy. And it will only feel this if you allow yourself to enjoy it. People will feel your enjoyment. People will feel your radiance because you've given yourself to it. And because we're a one, and because that creates a resonance pattern of oneness with anyone that you come in contact with, they're going to feel that. So this is the gift that we give to the world, to feel, to know, to radiate. And in doing so, it becomes an orchestra. A single instrument playing together is beautiful, but when an orchestra plays together, that's magnificent. And that's what's happening. You are to be the example that this is possible in the ordinary ways that you live your life. Until now, it has seemed to be the exception, not the rule, but it is yours to show a new possibility. Will you accept this and move into your light? It is why you were born into this world, to show that the world is not your real home. Love is your home. And the yes that sings through you brings you a step closer to this reality. Love is your home. We have a mantra that has sort of become our focus here for the last number of months. 3 parts to it, you all know. Only love, only God, only now. Stick with that. That's all you need. We choose only love right now. And any time that I feel myself swaying away or being pulled in a different direction, that's fine. That's going to happen. But then we come back. We just say those words, only love. Only love is real. This is my only desire. Only love, which then brings me into the experience of that divine love, which brings us to only God. And finally, the only time that this can happen, now. Only now. Let's just feel that for a moment. Right now, everything we need, everything we could ever desire, right now, whole and complete within you. This is the home we've been seeking for so long. The heaven we never left, except in our imagination. But it's time to stop imagining and simply be home. So there are communities like this one right now being seeded around the world, probably around the whole universe. Namaste Village is just one. There are communities that are coming together around the world, holding the frequency, the vibrancy of now. You know, people sometimes ask me, well, you're a priest. How do you mix these together? You know, I go to church, I celebrate mass, I do all the things that a priest is supposed to do. I say all the things that a priest is meant to say, even though sometimes I don't believe it. We used to have another priest who lived here. I won't mention names. Who thought I was a heretic. And I am. I'm a heretic because I don't have to hold true to a whole list of creeds and beliefs and whatever they may be, even though I'll say them And I know that there is a river of light that runs beneath them, but I don't have to hold to things that I know are just off, just because we've been saying them for 2,000 years. What I hold to is only love is real. And when I preach on Sunday at St. Andrews and then drive to Guadalajara to St. Mark's, that's all I'm teaching. That's all I'm sharing. I may use different words, different language, but it all comes down to the same teaching. Only love, only God, only now. That's all we need. So whatever if I'm a heretic, I'm a heretic. How many of you are enjoying your life as a heretic? It's delicious, isn't it? Thank God we don't live in former times when we would have had to pay a very high price for our heresy. It's funny that the greatest heresy from a religious perspective is that we are one, that doesn't matter what religion we're part of, it doesn't matter what faith we follow. If we are following the path of love, then we are following the path of the one. That's all. And that would have gotten us burned at the stake before. What was that? The real heresy is, we're going to get into it. Okay. You know, I recently posted a couple of videos on just like a minute or a minute and a half from the master teacher. And I think the most recent one said, to use your words, Tim, that religion is the real heresy, if you want to think about it. And this is not in any way to say that religion is a bad thing, because it is and it can be, not always, but it can be a very important step into the experience, but you have to let it go. Okay? Religion is the problem if it is used to separate, if it's used to dominate, if it's used to escalate the dominion of the ego, which is meant only to confuse. And in doing so, it leads us away from the truth rather than toward us. But it is like a labyrinth. Have you ever walked a labyrinth? And sometimes when you seem closest to the middle, it's when you're really furthest away, because you walk right to the middle and then suddenly you're out way at the far edge. And then you're in the middle, then you're back at the far edge. And you can't judge where you are by where you seem to be. Because the truth is, you are always right here, right now, right? And so religion may have served a purpose, but even those like me who are still part of that system are here to pull it up, to pull it out of the dogma into the experience. You know, you've heard me say this before, and Vicky would laugh if she heard me saying it again, because she and I had a very dear friend named David. She was Vicky's best friend. She had gone out to Wisconsin to the academy with him, and he was just a delight. He had a very thick Boston accent, was very gay, and had been a Franciscan. So he was just this delightful expression all the time. And he had been a Franciscan when he was young. And then when he went back to Boston after being at the academy, he started going to church again. And people would ask him, how can you know what you know and still put yourself into that framework? People ask me the same thing. Well, I can't say it the way he said it, but this is what he would say. He would say, I know she's the whore of Babylon, but she's my mother. She's my mother. The church is my mother. Now, my mother I love my mother. I didn't often agree with her. How many of you can say that? Yeah, my mother was old school. And if I was going to Canada, she would say, oh, you don't need to go there. Imagine what she said when I went to Iraq or a place like that. I mean, literally, I had to sneak there. Uh, I remember when Saddam Hussein invited me to come to Iraq the first time, and I was leaving from London. I waited till I was on the airplane flying out of London to have my agent call my mom and tell her, because knowing my mother, she would find a way to stop that flight. Anyway, I don't know how I got into that, but the point is, consistency is the key now. Let's come back to the beginning. We have to be consistent in choosing only love. If you want to break free from the gravitational pull of the ego, we have to be consistent in choosing only love. That's all. Because the more we choose love, the more we realize that love has always chosen us. That there's never been a time when we have been outside that experience of heaven, the gates of heaven, however you want to describe that. We seem to have wandered away, but there's never been a time in which we've really been distant from who we are. So let's just leave it there. We're just called to be consistent in that experience. And being in a place like Namaste Village is the perfect place for it. Even if you don't live here, even if you're just with us on Zoom, you're still getting the energy, you're still receiving the frequency. When we share the prayer for the awakened at the beginning of every session, this is real stuff. This is the truth. Now we just have to continue to live it. And when we find ourselves being pulled in another direction, just come home. Choose again. That was our session a couple of days ago. We are going to judge. We are going to correct. That's true. But we're going to get better and better at realizing that and then coming back home to ourself with a capital S. Sound good? And to that we say, Amen, Amen, Amen y punto. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful weekend. We'll see you again.